box, everyone. Right, boss? Yeah, Saturday, by mistake, our people have kept. Saturday, by mistake, our people have kept no class, and next class will be on Monday. By that time, I log in. By that time, I log in, they kept the message. Okay. So they thought that have given holiday even for what? 4 p.m. batch. So it happened by mistake. No problem. But right, guys. Tell me, every web application contains what kind of web pages, guys? 2 types of web pages, right? Right, guys. Saturday class not happened. Don't worry. Every website contains how many types of web pages? 2 types of web pages. What they are? Static web pages, dynamic web pages. What do you mean by static web page? What do you mean by static web page? The web page will, the content of web page will remain same for all requests. The content of web page will remain same for all requests, guys. What's the next one we are having? Dynamic web page. The content of web page will change based on the time of request generation or input values of the request. Right, boss. What are the examples for static web pages? About us page, contact us page, terms and condition page, policies page. What are the examples for dynamic web pages, guys? Gmail inbox page, live game score page, stock market share values page, all this stuff, right, boss? A typical web application contains how many types of web components, guys? 3 types of web components. Static web components, which generate static web pages. Dynamic web component generates the dynamic web pages. Got it? Helper web component. Yeah. These web components don't generate any web pages, but they act as a helper or supporting web component for other web component who generate the web pages. Who generates the web pages? Everyone understood my statement, guys? Come on. They act as helper or supporting web component for other web component who generate the web pages, who seriously generates the web pages. Image files, audio files, video files, and etc. Okay, guys. Next one. The static web components or the helper web components are same in any technology-based website development. You take Java-based website development, static and helper components are same. .NET same, PHP same, JavaScript same. What will change, guys? Only dynamic web components will change. Right, boss? Okay. Then we have discussed about need of the web server. We have seriously discussed about need of the web server. Right, boss? Yeah. Okay. Standalone application is specific to how many computers? One computer. Will be operated by how many users at a time? One user. Will be operated by how many users at a time? One user at a time. Got it, guys? So is there any need of automation, guys? Is there any need of automation? Whenever we want, we can start manually. Whenever we want, we can stop manually. Whenever we want, we can start manually. Whenever we want, we can stop manually. Got it, guys? Now listen, once web application is ready, it will be used, operated, requested by one user at a time or lakhs of users, lakhs of and crores of users. Okay, one by one or simultaneously, right? Uh, so to process each request, we need a web component. To process each request, we need a web component. To generate the web page also, we need a web component, right, boss? Process each request, we need a web component. To generate the web page also, we need a web component. Understanding my statement, guys? Since lakhs of requests are coming from lakhs of users simultaneously, if I say I will execute web application and its web components manually, is it going to work out, guys? No. So we need a special software who executes web application and its web components in automated environment or not. Who executes web application and its web components in automated environment or not? Yes. Web application and its web components in automated environment. Who is that special software? Web server software. Tell me what are the examples for web server software? Tomcat, Jetty, AWS, Node.js, IIS. Many names are there. Got it, guys? Many names are there. Okay, boss. Yeah, what is this? Web server is a piece of software who listens to client requests continuously, takes the request, maps are the request with appropriate web components of web application, process the request by executing web components dynamically, gathers the request from web components and send them to browser as responses. Understanding my statement? Single line statement. Web server is a piece of software. Web server is a piece of software that automates web application and their web components execution. Web application and their web components web application. Yeah, everyone be with me. I am sharing all the backup videos. And I conducted 2 sessions. How come they got 3 sessions, Babu? I think you believe first 2 sessions only. Okay, you believe in first 2 sessions only. Got it? Okay, guys. Last 2 sessions backup videos are here. I just shared with you people. Okay, right. This is advanced Java session. Here I am sharing advanced Java backup videos. In other batch backup videos will be given. Understanding my statement? Okay. Course fee is 3,500. Our admin will send the bank details to you. Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. Shall we get into the discussions, guys? 9 a.m. batch backup video will be given in 9 a.m. session. 4 p.m. class backup video will be given in 4 p.m. session. 7:30 session backup video will be given in 7:30 p.m. session. class content, advanced Java, 91, not 916, 1414, servlet. Yeah, what is today's session, guys? Web application setup, guys. Yeah, today's date is September 26th, 2022. Links are not opening up. Definitely will open, Babu. Links are not opening. Sure. Okay. Let me test why links are not opening. Enter. They are working. Okay. Let it be, guys. Shall we get into today's discussion? Now listen. After developing web application, where we keep for automating execution, for automating execution of web application, where we keep after development in web server, right? In web server. Super, guys. Now listen. The process of keeping web application. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Right there. The process of keeping web application, okay, in the web server, is technically called as deployment of the web application. Technically called as deployment of the web application. Deployment of the web application. Next, the process of removing web application from web server is technically called as the undeployment of the web application. Undeployment of the web application. Got it, guys? One is deployment, other one is undeployment. Okay. Super, guys. Okay, guys. Okay, shall we go for web application development setup? Web application development and execution setup, guys. Web application development and execution setup. Okay, guys. To develop and execute the typical web application, we need to develop and execute typical web application. We need what we need, guys. Come on, everyone, tell me. We need, okay, tell me web technologies. Web technologies. Why we need these web technologies, guys? To develop the web components. Yes. Web components like servlet, JSP, HTML files, all this stuff. Web server software. web server software to automate the web application and its web components execution. Next, to automate the web application and its web components execution. Okay. Next one, database software. Okay, to store or persist the data. To store or persist the data. Next, to simply store or persist the data. Next one, browser software. To send request and to receive request. To send request and to receive request, guys. Okay, guys. Understanding my statement, guys? Yeah, these are the web technologies, web server, database. Sorry, forget about all this stuff. Just think about a typical website. We open browser. Come on. We send request. We get response. Browser is required. To store data, definitely database software is required. To develop the web application having web components, we need web technologies, right, boss? Super. And to store the data, to persist the data, we need definitely database software or not. Super, guys. Now listen. This is my machine 1, physical computer. This is my machine 2, another physical computer. This is my machine 3, another physical computer. Okay. Here is my machine 1. Here is my machine 20. Okay. Here is my machine. Here is my machine. Here is my browser software, guys. Here is my web server software, guys. Here is my database software. Here is my database software. This is the typical symbol indicating database software. Yes. Next, there is a network. Definitely network will be there. Here also network. Definitely network will be there. Here is my database. Network, guys. Here is right, boss. This is what web server. Right. Listen. In web server, we deploy the web application or web server, we deploy the web application. Web application in the bracket deployed. Web application in the bracket. Here is my web component 1, web component 2, web component 3, web component 4. Total how many web components are there? Multiple. This is my web component 1, boss. Yes, boss. This is my web component 2. Nice. This is my. Sir, what's the meaning of deployment? Super. Mr. Sejal Kulshetra, I think you joined a bit lately. Web component 1, web component 2, web component 3, and web component 4. Right. Super. Someone is asking me, what is the meaning of deployed? Okay. What is the meaning of this word? The process of keeping web application in web server is technically called deployment of the web application. I hope you are active while giving this statement. The process of removing web application from web server is technically called as undeployment of the web application. I think 3 minutes before I have given these statements. Given or not given? Okay. Try to be on time. Try to be on time. I request everyone. I'll sleep. I'll join in my choice timings. In the middle of the class, whatever new terminology will come, I will raise it. That is not going to work out. You have to be sincere towards learning subject, any subject. Because 2-3 minutes before only I have introduced what is deployment, what is undeployment. Okay. Here is my browser, guys. Here is my browser. Nice, guys. This is the basic setup we need, Rama. So first what happens, guys? Browser generates the request. Who continuously listens for the request, guys? Web server. So web server takes the request. Here is my request, guys. This is number 1. Here we type URL. Next, guys. Web server passes the request to web component. Web server passes the request to web component. This is number 2. Nice. Next, the web component. Okay. The web component will process the request. A web component passes the request to appropriate web component of web application. The logics of web component will process the request. Super, guys. If necessary, the web component interacts with the database software. If necessary, the web component interacts with the database software. What do you say, guys? Super. Okay. Right, boss. Understanding my statement? Okay. Super, guys. If necessary, it needs. Not every time. If necessary, it interacts with the database software. That is number 4. Right. And after executing web component, some result will be generated or not? Yes, generated. The generated result goes back to web server. The generated result goes back to web server. Cool, guys? Super. This is going to be number 5. Okay. Next. Web server sends this generated result back to browser. Sends this generated result back to browser. As what, guys? Response. As what, guys? Response. Okay. This is number 6, Rava. Browser receives the response and displays it as a web page. Displays that one as a web page. Okay, guys. This is going to be web page. This is going to be web page. Here is number 7. Here is number 7. Everyone understanding my statement? This is the typical setup for developing and executing web application. Okay. We type URL in the browser address bar and we generate the request. That is number 1. Web server receives the request and passes the request to appropriate web component of web application. Number 3, web component process the request by executing logics. Number 4, if necessary, the web component interacts with the database software, either to store the data or to fetch the data. Number 5, the generated results of web component goes to web server. Got it, guys? Next, web server sends the results to browser as a response. That is number 6. Number 7, browser displays the response as a web page. Browser displays the response as a web page. That is number 7. Everyone understanding my statement, guys? Got the clarity here? Okay, guys. Yeah, this is the typical setup, Babu. This is typical setup. Right. Okay. Right. I'll take one small example then to understand this one in a better manner. Okay. I'm typing URL to launch Gmail. Gmail.com, I type it, Babu. Gmail.com, I type. Request has come. The web server where gmail.com website is running takes the request and passes to appropriate web component. Okay, that web component processes the request and generates the result having login page. Okay, this request will not talk to database software. Why? While generating login page, any database software is required, not required. Okay. So process the request, generates the content having login page. That result has come here. Web server sends. What, guys? Web server sends that login page related output to browser as response. That login page related output to as response. Number 7, browser displays that login page as a web page. Okay, guys. Now, someone fills up the username password in the login page. Again, generates the request. Again, web server takes the request. Again, web server maps the request to appropriate web component. Maybe this component or this component. Yes, guys. Now, web component uses database software support to check whether given username passwords are matched with already registered username passwords or not. Okay. If matched, web component gives the result of inbox content. To what? Web server. Web server passes that inbox content to browser, and browser displays that inbox content as inbox web page. Inbox content as inbox web page. So in that one, again, by clicking a hyperlink, we generate the another request. It's a continuous process, Babu. It's a continuous process. Understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Note 1. We can develop the web application either as a 2-tier application or as 3-tier application. Tier application means what, guys? 2-tier application means what, guys? Without database software. 3-tier application means what, guys? With the database software. Tier is nothing but layer, na boss. Tier 1 or layer 1. Tier 2 or layer. Okay, guys. Tier 3 or layer. Tier 3 or layer. Super, guys. That's the number one. Another note to a logical or physical partition of the logical or physical partition in the application is typically called as what, guys? Is typically called as layer or tier. Layer or tier, guys. Understanding my statement, guys? It may be a logical partition or physical partition. Right now, all these are physical partition. Sometimes it is going to be a logical partition. Got it? Okay, guys. The end user. What do you mean by end user, guys? The visitor of the website. Visitor of the web application. Can send requests. The end user, nothing but the visitor of the web application. Can send requests. Can send request. Okay. Can send request in multiple ways. Can send request to web application in multiple ways. In multiple ways. Yeah. What is the number one? Yeah. By placing URLs in browser address bar. Browser address bar. B. Next one. By clicking on the hyperlinks. Next, C. By clicking on the submit buttons, right, boss? Especially submit buttons. D. By raising JavaScript events. By raising JavaScript event, right, boss? Like when the page is loaded. Okay. When the text box gains focus. All these are JavaScript events now, boss. When we select the item in select box, when we select the item in select box, and etc. Sometimes we have to send request by raising event also, Rababu. By raising event also, right, boss? Super, guys. These are the multiple things. No, refresh is different, na? Executing the same request one more time. That is refresh. But I'm talking about generating new request every time. I'm talking about generating new request every time. Okay. Now tell me, with respect to diagram. With respect to diagram. Number one, browser sends a request to the web application by using one or other technique. By using one or other above technique. One or other above approach. Above approaches. Next. Okay. Web server And I said web server listens to client request continuously. Web server taps and takes the request. Okay. And maps or links the request to appropriate web component of the web application. Appropriate web component of the web application. Are you understanding my statement? Appropriate web component of the web application. Super, super. After that, what next, guys? The web component process the request by executing the logics. Number 4, the web component interacts with database software. Okay, either to save data or to fetch data if necessary. Number 5. Okay. Web server gathers the results generated by the web component. Web server gathers the results generated by the web component. Number 6. Web component sends the results to browser. Web server sends the results to browser. Sends the results to browser as response. Number 7. Okay, guys. Web server displays the response in the browser. As the web page. I hope you thoroughly understood my statement, guys. Okay, guys. Now listen carefully. Based on the place where the web component code executes. There are 2 types of web components. Client-side web components, server-side web components. Are you listening my statement, guys? So, for example, you give request to HTML file, Bob. HTML code executes in web server, or does it goes to browser for execution? Goes to browser, or the code goes to browser. Are you understanding my statement? Code goes to browser. Say something, my dear. Listen. Why, sir? To execute HTML code, we need HTML interpreter. Where this HTML interpreter is available? In the browser. To execute JavaScript code, we need JavaScript engine. Where this JavaScript engine is available? In the browser, right, boss? The web component whose code goes to browser for execution when it is requested is called client-side web component. Are browser is typically called client na boss? Browser is typically called is client or not? Okay, what are the example? HTML files, JavaScript files. Okay, JavaScript code is executed by JavaScript engine of the browser. HTML code is executed by what? HTML interpreter of the browser. Are you understanding my statement? The web component whose code goes to browser as response. Okay, 1 minute. I'll put in a different manner. Based on the place where the web component executes, there are two types of web components. Based on the place where the web component executes, there are two types of web components. A, okay, client-side web components. B, server-side web components. Yeah, A, client-side web component, B, server-side web component. Right. Client-side web components. These web components code goes to browser from the web server. These web components code goes to browser from the web server. Are you understanding my statement? Okay. Goes to browser from the web server for execution. For execution when they are requested. When they are requested from browser. Okay. Right. Examples, guys. HTML files. JavaScript files or components. HTML files are also called component because they are reusable now, boss. Okay, boss. No, general note. Generally, the static web components are client-side web components. Static web components are client-side web components. Next, another note. To execute HTML code, we need HTML interpreter. So, the HTML code goes to browser. Code goes to browser for execution. Code goes to browser for execution. Are you understanding my statement, guys? To execute JavaScript code, we need JavaScript engine. So the JavaScript code goes to browser for execution. The JavaScript code goes to browser for execution. Okay, guys. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Client-side web component, other side server-side web component. Right, boss. After listening entire Ramayana, you should not ask who is Sita, right? Okay. Browser maintains both HTML interpreter and JavaScript engine. Yes, now boss. That's why HTML code is going to browser for execution. JavaScript code is going to browser for execution. Right, boss? Come on, my dear. Someone sincerely asking, sir, browser contains HTML interpreter. Browser contains JavaScript code. Come on. Otherwise, why they will go? Right, boss. Next, server-side web components. Server-side web components. These web components execute in web server itself when they are requested. When they are requested. These web components execute in web server itself when they are requested. What do you say, guys? In web server itself when they are requested. That means these web components code resides and executes in web server itself. In web server itself. Got it, guys? Resides and executes in web server itself. Example, tell me. Servlet components, JSP components, PHP components, all these are server side, Babu. Express.js, normal JavaScript is client side. Express.js components are server side, right? Express.js components, guys. Next one, ASP.NET components. Array Node.js itself server. Don't say Node.js components. Okay, guys. Node.js itself server. Don't say Node.js component. Express.js components and etc. One important statement here, guys. Don't decide whether web component is client side or server side based on the place where it resides. Decide it based on the place where it executes. Decide it based on the place where it executes. Are you understanding my statement? Okay. Location wise, everything is server side, Babu. Okay. No, actually, if you observe very carefully, this is my client side, guys. This is my servers. Are you understanding my statement? Okay. Array, this batch is advanced Java. In advanced Java, we will study Java related server side components. That means servlet JS. And this diagram is not specific to one technology. This diagram is what? Generic web application setup diagram, right? This is what? Generic web application setup diagram. Generic means not specific to any technology. Generic means not specific to any technology. Got it? Right, guys. Tell me, don't decide whether the web component is client side or server side based on the place where it executes. Sorry, where it resides. Decide it based on the place where it executes. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Decide it based on the place where it executes. Decide it based on the place where it executes. Are you comfortable, guys? Array, listen, you are staying in America from last 20 years. Will you be called as American citizen? No. Decide whether you are Indian or American based on the place where you taken birth, right? Not where you are residing currently. If you have taken birth in India, by default you are Indian. If you have taken birth in America, by default you are American, right? Irrespective of the place where you are currently residing. Irrespective of the place where you are currently residing. Got it? You are staying in Hyderabad from last 20 years, but you originally belongs to what? Mumbai. So you will be called as Mumbai person only, irrespective of the place where you are currently residing. So same thing. Don't decide web component is client side or server side based on the place where it is. Based on the place where it is residing. Decide it based on the place where it is executing. Super, guys. Now listen. List of browser softwares. List of browser softwares. Okay. Tell me. To send request and to receive response. Okay, guys. To send request to receive response. Note, guys. Okay. Generally, the dynamic web components are server side web components. Generally, the dynamic web components are server side web components. You guys? Yes, boss. List of browser softwares, guys. Okay. Internet Explorer. From which company, guys? Internet Explorer from Microsoft. We have a lot of next Chrome from what? Google. Next Edge from Microsoft, right, boss? Okay. Firefox. Firefox. From which one, guys? Mozilla. Next. Safari from Apple. Safari from Apple. Opera from Opera Soft. Opera from Opera Soft. Okay. Are remaining all are non-standard browsers? Don't worry. Okay. Non-standard browsers. There are so many non-standard browsers. Hot Java. Hot Java from Red Hat. Red Hat. Next. Brave browser. Brave browser from brave.org. Brave.org, right, guys? Next, UC browser from Alibaba, right? Alibaba, right now, boss? Netscape Navigator. Navigator. From whom, guys? Netscape Navigator from Netscape organization. Many are there, boss. Many and etc. Okay. Right. Who is number one in the market, guys? Installations wise, Chrome browser, no doubt. Yeah, Internet Explorer is slow because it's a old one. Old one. After that, somewhat popularity is there for Edge, guys. Somewhat popularity is there for Edge. And after all these things, Mac people prefers what? Mac people prefers Safari. Mac people prefer Safari. But my personal favorite is Firefox. I don't know why. I love Edge is outdated, Explorer is outdated. Vamshi Mucharla, where is your brain, Ra Babu? Edge is outdated, Firefox, Internet Explorer is outdated. Okay. Don't throw the statement just like that, Ra Babu. Right. Remaining all are for knowledge sake, guys. Don't think much on them. Please don't think much on them. Remaining all are there for knowledge sake. Okay, guys. List of web server softwares. Okay, list of web server softwares. Right. List of web server software. I'm trying to give all the list to you guys so that we can understand what other domain people are using, which softwares. Tomcat, from which company, guys? Apache. Company name is Apache. Fine. What is this? Java based. It is Java based. Next, Resin web server from Resin Soft. Java based. Next, JWS. Java web server. JWS, nothing but Java web server from Sun Microsystem. This is also Java based. Are browsers are common for any technology based website or not? So while taking browser, do I need to worry about Java based or not? Do I need to worry about it is Java based or not? No. Okay, guys. Next, PWS, personal web server. Okay, from Microsoft, guys. From Microsoft. What is this? .NET based. It is .NET based. IIS, Internet Information Server. Internet Information Server. From Microsoft. .NET based. Next. Okay, AWS, Apache Web Server. Okay. From Apache. Okay, PHP based. What is another server, guys? Jump server. We have XAMPP is there, na? XAMPP. Am I right? XAMPP server. Okay, we cannot execute Java servlet component in PHP servers. We cannot execute PHP components in Java web servers, right, boss? XAMPP server is there. XAMPP. Okay. No, AWS is not Amazon web server. AWS in web server, it is what? Apache web server. Okay, guys. In cloud, it is Amazon web service. In cloud, it is Amazon web service. Got it? XAMPP was from what? Apache, it seems, PHP based. Right, guys? It is PHP based. Node.js. Node.js. From what? That's JavaScript. Node.js is given by which guys? It is no doubt JavaScript based. Okay. JavaScript based. But let me find out. What is that? Node.js in Wikipedia. Node.js in Wikipedia. Yeah, what is the developer, guys? OpenJS Foundation. What's the company name? OpenJS Foundation. Company name is OpenJS. Okay. OpenJS. Right. JavaScript based. JavaScript based. Let me find out for what is that? XAMPP in Wikipedia. XAMPP in Wikipedia. Okay. XAMPP in Wikipedia. Free open source platform, full stack developed by Apache Friends. Apache Friends only. Apache Friends only. Got it? It is from Apache. Right, guys. Now listen. Next, Jetty. 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 Okay. It is Java based, boss. No doubt in that. Yeah. Vendor names, I generally don't give damn importance. Okay. Let me. Jetty in Wikipedia. Jetty in Wikipedia. Jetty in Wikipedia. No, it's coming in a wrong meaning. Jetty server, I should say. Jetty server in Wikipedia. Jetty web server in Wikipedia. Eclipse. It is given by Eclipse people, Rabbi. It is given by Eclipse people. Actually, I forgot. Okay. And etc. was. And etc. Understanding my statement? In our course, we will be studying Tomcat Rabbi. We will be studying Tomcat server, Tomcat web server. Got it? And multiple other servers also. Because we are Java guys now, and we are here to develop Java-based websites. Java-based websites. So we typically use what? Java-based servers only. Okay. Listen. Okay. Application server is equal to web server plus plus. They do web server works plus many other operations. They do web server works plus many other operations. Okay. If you feel this is web server, guys, and this is going to be application server. This is going to be web application server. This is my web server. This is my application server. Okay, guys. Yeah, in web servers, Java, Tomcat is industry standard, Babu. In .NET, IAS is industry standard. In PHP, JAMP is industry standard. For Node, for JavaScript, Node.js is industry standard. Understanding my statement? In Java community, it is super hit. In .NET community, this is industry standard. Right, because okay, in PHP JavaScript community, this is popular. Next, in PHP style, this is popular. Okay, guys. Number one in Java domain. Next, one in .NET domain. Next, one in PHP domain. Next, one in JS domain. One in JS domain. Here is my PP, JAM. Yeah. Application server is equal to web server plus plus. So that means in application server also we can deploy the web application or not. Okay, guys. In application server also, we can deploy web application or not. I said application server is equal to web server plus plus, right? Web server plus plus. Okay, guys. Yeah, it can do many other things. What are other things we will discuss later. And it can deal with what is that JMS application. It can deal with EasyAB component. It has got more other facility. But basically, they have ability to deploy and execute web application. Basically, they have ability to deploy and execute even web application. Understanding my statements? Got it, guys? List of application servers. List of application server softwares. List of application server softwares. Listen, WebLogic. WebLogic. Initially from BEA systems. Initially from BEA system. Now it is in the hands of Oracle Corporation. Now it is in the hands of Oracle Corporation. JBoss. JBoss from Red Hat. Actually, initially it is with Apache. Now it has gone to the hands of Red Hat. Next, Wildfly. Wildfly from Red Hat. Okay, Red Hat. Glassfish. Initially from Sun Microsystem. Now it has gone to Oracle Corporation. Because Sun Microsystem is acquired by Oracle Corporation. Got it? Next. Okay. Jaren from, okay, what is that? Adobe. Jaren is given by Adobe. Are you with me, guys? Super. Right, guys. Jaren from this one. Resin is web server, Rabab. Resin is web server. Resin is web server. Got it? Okay. Jaren. Okay. Oracle 10G AS. 10G is the database software. We have AS also. Application server is also there from Oracle Corporation. Oracle 10G AS. Oracle 10G AS is from Oracle Corporation. Got it, guys? Oracle 10G is database software. 10G AS is a application server. WebSphere. 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 From whom, guys? IBM. WebSphere from IBM and etc. Many names are there. As on today, number one in the market is Wildfly. Industry is preferring to use Wildfly like anything. Then number two is Glassfish. Number two is Glassfish. Remaining all are there only for namesake, Babu. Not that much popular. They are not that much popular. Okay. Right. They are not that much popular. Don't worry. And listen, all application servers are Java based. All these application servers are Java based. All these application servers are Java based servers. Okay, you need not to tell .NET or PHP XYZ. They are by default Java based. So that means in Java, not only web servers are there, we have application servers. We have application servers. Got it, guys? Okay. In our Java web application development. Okay. Java web application development. Servlet JSP base. we use Tomcat, we use guys. We use Undertow. We use Jetty. We use what is next? Wildfly. We use Glassfish. These many servers we use. These many servers we use. These many servers we use. In web servers, Tomcat is popular. In application servers, Wildfly is popular. JWS is outdated long time. JWS. In our Java web application development, we use this. Ramesh, what is the meaning of this statement? Is it in English only? In our Java web application development, we use Tomcat, Undertow, Jetty, Wildfly, Glassfish. So we are in the classroom, we are going to use them. Save or fetch data. Okay. To save or fetch data as needed. To save or fetch data as needed. Okay. So let me give list of database softwares to you people. What comes to our brain? Oracle. From whom? Oracle Corporation, right? Oracle. From whom? Oracle Corporation. MySQL. Initially with DevX. Later acquired by Sun Microsystem. Later acquired by Oracle Corporation. Next, PostgreSQL. From which company? Enterprise DB company. From which company, guys? From Enterprise DB company. Are you understanding my statement? Array, we use either a web server or application server, not both at a time. Okay, guys. Next. Okay. DB2. DB2. From whom, guys? IBM. It's a database software from IBM. SQL Server from Microsoft. SQL Server is from Microsoft. Right, boss? And Excel. Many are there. Many are there. Yeah. This is number one. Oracle Corporation is number one. Number two, somewhat popularity is there for PostgreSQL. Yeah. Don't think about reminding. Don't seriously think about reminders. Right, boss? I think possibility of various browser software we study, possibility of various web servers we study, guys.